And with that buzzer, that means we're live. Hey guys, BJ Dalla here, and we have another exciting video for you today in our 6-part series that has now become a 7-part with a bonus episode series. And here with me today is my good buddy Jeff Harley. Jeff, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, BJ. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. I'm doing awesome. Jeff, I'm really pumped today. We have kind of a bit, it's going to be a little bit different from the model that we've done every single day so far, or every single video in this series so far. We're actually today going to teach something that's created me a 6-figure income in my life. But I've never actually combined it with this business opportunity before. Today, what we're going to share with all of you guys is we're going to actually teach you how to generate a 5-figure per month income using your Maps business, but in a way that's not being taught right now. That really, when I looked at Maps, this was really the light bulb moment for me. Okay, this is what really kind of changed everything, and this is what kind of turned me on to the idea of Maps and what's going on with it. But for you out there that don't know what Maps is My Advertising Pays, and they're actually a very revolutionary, borderline Ponzi scheme-ish kind of company out of the UK. And I say it's borderline because I've seen a lot of companies that are just flat-out Ponzi schemes, that are just flat-out, hey, we have no real product, this is a real quick money game, get in it, get some quick cash, get out before the feds show up. And what's really cool about Maps is, if you just took it from a glance, if you didn't put your glasses on, you looked at it, you'd go, oh yeah, that's one of those things. That's one of those schemes that people are going to make a lot of money with, and then one day the feds are going to show up. But you know what I found interesting, Jeff, was they actually are never going to get shut down. And I say that, and I say that with a bold statement, and I'll be the first one to come out and say that, because of this reason. Okay, Maps, they did not do the traditional money game scheme where they just picked a frivolous product that they made sound relevant and then sold it, but really everyone's buying in for the compounding interest on the back end. What they did was they leveraged a multi-billion-dollar industry, the traffic industry, and they gave you a real-world product, which was impressions, aka traffic, that you could choose for any website or any offer of your choice that you can buy from them. So they are a traditional traffic agency. Now, I own a traffic and training corporation, and the difference between a traffic agency and a traffic and training corporation, for those of you who don't know, is a traffic agency provides you the traffic, and then their relationship with you is done. They don't give you any helpful training on how to leverage that traffic to tell a story and to constantly build on that and give a snowball effect so that the 100 leads that you generate become 1,000 leads, and those 1,000 leads become 5,000 leads, and so on and so forth, because that's what you get from a traffic and training corporation. Not to say that traffic agencies are bad. This actually works out great in their favor for this, because traffic agencies are legitimate businesses. So for the fact that they picked a product that never goes away, for as long as there's a single website on the internet, you're going to need traffic. They picked a model that could never go away, so that means they're not just going to fall out tomorrow because nobody wants to buy their sneakers anymore, or no one wants to buy their pots and pans, or their comp plan is BS and their savings program wasn't real. Nobody had to wake up and realize that this wasn't a Ponzi scheme. But here's the coolest part about Maps is they give you a real-world product. They give you impressions. And guys, we actually, to be honest with you, we did a little bit of research. We did not find the exact number of impressions that they give you traffic.
I just found, BJ, they're 1,000.
Okay, 1,000 per package. Excellent.
1,000 per pack. Yep.
And that helps tremendously, because the concept of what we're going to talk about really didn't have to do anything with how many you were getting, but since we know the actual number, we can give you a real-world illustration of how you're going to go out and you're going to make 100% profit off of your compounding interest on the back end. Okay, now that may be Spanish for you guys if you're not in maps. If you are in maps, you're like itching yourself because you know really you only make like 6% profit. You make $12 profit off of every $50 invested. So now I'm giving you a chance to turn that $50 invested into $62 profit, and we're going to teach you the exact formula right here. So now you're excited. But if you don't know what we're talking about, let me just quickly explain to you, because just like everything else, Jeff, are you active and are you running in maps right now today?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, BJ.
Okay, and neither am I. Okay, I do believe that MAPS is a great organization and a great program, and I do believe that it could be used as today's new version of a savings account. If you guys got money that you just aren't going to touch for 60 days, maybe 100 days, that maybe something like MAPS would be a great opportunity for you to invest into and let that compounding interest build. Whether you're going to do this part of what we're about to talk about or not, I think that that might be a great opportunity for you. And no, we're not pitching you. We're just putting that out there because we do the research, and we don't do a program in this training series if we haven't done a research, and we wouldn't honestly say it's a decent deal for you to jump into. But anyway, for those of you who don't know what the compounding interest aspects of MAPS is every $50 invested, you get 1,000 impressions. So that right there would just be a straight deal. Okay, that would just be what most traffic agencies would offer you, and then they would collect the real profits, because off of those 1,000 impressions, they might make a lot of money. They might get paid, they could be possibly paid 5 cents per impression or 10 cents per impression. So they're cleaning house off of selling them at such a low rate. But what really crazily changes MAPS from the averages, they actually partner with you. They say, look, we're going to let you buy these impressions, and we're going to give you a piece of all the traffic that's coming in if you partner with us and you click 10 ads a day. If you will click 10 ads a day, we will create compounding interest into your investment that you made with MAPS, and we'll give you a feasible real-world product. Well, it's not touchable because it's traffic, but it's feasible, and it's real world, and it's something that won't have the feds come knocking on the door and saying, hey, we heard you're not selling anything real. They'd be like, hey, we heard you're selling traffic. Can you get us some? But that's neither here nor there. But literally what they do is they do compounding interest. So when you invest $50, you make $1 a day for the next 62 days. It becomes $62 on every $50 invested, which if you're someone like my buddy Simon Stepsis and you're all the way maxed out and you have I think it's 5,000 credit packs for $60,000. That's like $1,100 a day. That's a lot of, that's a lot of nice investment profits. But let's be honest. Raise your hand if you have 60 grand right now that you're not doing anything with for the next 100 days that you would like to just throw out there from the beginning. Oh, that's exactly right. Because unless you're already sitting nicely, you're not going to do something like that. Now, maybe you do have a savings account, and like I said, by all means, go ahead and add that in there, and in 62 days' time, you will have the $62 for every $50 that you invested. But if you don't, and you're wondering how you could get 100% profit off of this compounding interest, we're going to tell you that right now. And guys, this is actually a very, very powerful niche that you're going to turn around and become a reseller in. Not to give away too much, but this is something that's so pumped and so exciting for me because traffic is huge. Jeff, do you think you could have a thriving business in the real world or on the internet if you didn't have a constant flow of traffic coming to your offer?
Oh, no business on earth can survive without customers, without people seeing what it is you're selling. And I don't care if that's a Subway sandwich shop to a home-based business to the biggest corporate, Coca-Cola, whoever. You have to get your product in front of people who want to buy it. And I've been, as you've been kind of giving everybody the introduction here, I've been reading on MAPS website a little bit, and they've got an interesting concept here with their program. And what you're going to add to it takes this thing from being kind of a neat, neat program to a really spectacular opportunity. If a person can learn how to work both sides of this MAPS program, not only the, set your money there for, I think it's 90 days, 60 days, whatever it is I saw there, but also be able to resell that traffic product that you're paying for, you basically could just flip your money. And at the end of the time, still end up with a little more on top of what you started with. That's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity.
That is 100% correct. And guys, if you just heard what Jeff said clearly and you're already in MAPS, you just got really excited because you just understood kind of what he just said. If you're not in MAPS, let me paint that picture for you clearly. We're going to give you, on top of MAPS being a great program, you can invest $50 into it, turn it into $62, and get 1,000 impressions for whatever business or whatever website you want to send the traffic to. We're going to turn that, we're going to create that, and we're going to say instead of $12 profit, we're going to turn that into $62 profit, potentially even more than that if you don't want to just do the traffic selling for cost, but then also give you that $50 back that you can reinvest and then continuously build this cycle. So you can take a snowball that might start even with $50, guys, one credit pack, and you can potentially roll that out until it's a huge snowball big enough to destroy the city at the bottom of the mountain. And here's exactly what we're talking about. Jeff just hit the nail on the head, guys. We're going to flip traffic. We're going to take that feasible real-world product, and actually my buddy Simon has some results in his group, and I'm just going to share one of his pictures when we get to that point, but where this traffic is very high converting. It made him a $29,000 month the other month in one of his other primary businesses that he promotes. And the traffic converts off the chain, but the coolest part about it is most people don't think outside the box. I'll be honest, I'll raise my hand and say when I first got into MAPS, because we did do a stint in MAPS a little while ago, and we still just have some compounding interest money being built, and it's a great, like I said, a new version of a savings account versus just having your money sit in your bank account, and if you're lucky you make 0.3 to 0.5% return on your investment over a year. You're actually making 1.2% return investment over the entire year if you don't do what we're talking about, which is flipping the traffic. Okay, you make 1.2% of whatever you invest completely back profit in a year's time, which crushes out any savings accounts that's out there. And also every, I believe it's 60 days, you're allowed to pull out your money if you want to. So at any time, virtually any time, you can pull out. But what we're doing is we're taking the concept, because I raise my hand and I say, we have a whole bunch of impressions that were just sitting there that we weren't doing anything with because we didn't think about it. Or we ran some to our own offers, or maybe you are in MAPS and you are running it to your own offers right now. That's cool. That's a great idea. But if you want to make a passive residual income stream that builds a lot of profit, think about this. There are so many people on the internet right now that don't know how to generate lots of traffic. And guys, to be 100% honest with you, the difference between where you are right now and where you would like to be on the internet and as a business owner and as a product seller is the amount of traffic you're getting to introduce to your product every day. So now let me flip the script to you. What if all of the sudden you started getting 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 impressions or clicks or targeted traffic heading to your website every single day? Do you think that that would change your business? Jeff, if you had 1,000 people every single day check out your offer, do you think you would make more money than if you had 200 people a day check out your offer?
Oh, absolutely. And BJ, like we've talked about before, we talk a lot about momentum. And, when you look at the idea of a business with 200 people looking at your product a day versus 1,000 people looking at your business a day, just the momentum that would build over a 90-day or a 6-month period, there's no comparison where a person would be in 6 months if they're really smart with how they use that, and if over that time frame, let's say it's 6 months, they show that focus for 6 months. They're really focused on getting more traffic and more traffic and more traffic. And as they're doing that, they're building their skills also, and they're getting better at being a marketer, and they're getting better at being a business owner. If they would focus on that for 6 months, optimum amount of traffic, and becoming the best possible business owner they could be, which means they're learning how to capture more of that traffic, not just in sales, but through maybe some list building, or some things where they're collecting people who are saying, yeah, I want to be part of this group, building a tribe. If they really learned how to do that over a 6-month period of time with more traffic, their business, they wouldn't even recognize it 6 months from now. It would be so much larger and so much more successful. It's not even funny. And we hear and you see those real life stories virtually every single week. Someone who just started off on a plan, really focused on it for 6 months. They got better and better and better. They got more and more traffic. They got better and better and better. And that momentum propelled them to where they have a, 5-figure income every month coming in 6 months. And that business is going to crank for as long as they just continue to keep doing the right things. And it just came down to the fact that they built momentum, they had more eyes on what they were doing, and they got better as a business owner and made better business decisions.
That's completely correct. And you really, it's funny to me. What you just said relates to my story and so many people that I've personally coached over years' stories so well because of this fact. Like, okay, we talk about, the two of us talk about often college basketball and what's going on in March Madness right now. And it seems like if you watch the games, and you guys who are business savvy and don't know anything about college basketball, this might be lost on you, but if you listen, you're going to catch what I'm talking about here. It seems like if you watch the game, you see two types of teams. Either the type of team that knows that they deserve to be in the tournament and that they're really fighting for their chance at the championship, whether they have to go through Kentucky or not. They just believe that they have a shot at this title because they deserve to be there. They put in the work and they're hard. And then you see the people who are just happy to be there, and everything from the way that they play on the basketball court to the responses that they give to the press when they ask them, well, now you have a tough opponent in front of you, how are you doing? They'll give you an answer like, well, can't we just celebrate this game and be happy here and then deal with that one when we get there? Like, it's very clear that there are two levels to this college basketball game, just like there are two levels to business. When you first get in there, generate your first time 100 leads in a day, or 50 leads in a day, or one sale in a day, and you're just happy to be there. You're just happy and excited because it's a new part of your life, and you haven't really evolved yet to the point where there's consistency. Because in your own mind, you haven't cracked the code, or you don't believe that you can generate 100 leads a day and a sale a day. And then there's the business marketers over there that have been doing it for a little while, that got into it, that maybe their mentor showed them how, or maybe they actually fell upon the formula, or maybe they followed a process that's actually working. And all of a sudden, they're more into their business. They're starting to grind more. They're starting to understand concepts about their business more. They're no longer happy to be there or happy to generate 100 leads. They're now pushing for 200 leads, or pushing for 500 leads, or pushing for 10 leads because maybe yesterday they generated 5 leads, and they're growing constantly. This is kind of the concept that you will be instilling into people. And why do we say that? Well, you are the one that's going to be providing the traffic for these people, because the honest taboo out there is people would love more traffic, but they would scratch their head if you ask them, okay, well, what's your plan on going and getting more? If you had to ask someone who maybe it was day one on the internet for them, or maybe they got in this month to their primary business opportunity, Jeff, what's the general response when you ask someone who's day one in a business how they're going to go out and generate more leads or generate more sales to their company?
Typically, BJ, that is just deer in the headlights. Look, so many people, when they start into some kind of business, they come in under a lot of false assumptions. A lot of times they're let in with the idea of fancy cars and mansions and private jets, and that this thing all just kind of falls into place and it's simple and easy. A lot of people miss the part about that there's actually some real business skills that are required to build a successful business. This whole adage, and it's something I throw up in my mouth every time I hear it, but they say, this product is so good it'll sell itself. Well, if there was any truth to that at all, they wouldn't have anybody around. They just put it on the corner and people would buy it, and it'd be just, there's no such thing. And so when you start talking to people about, okay, you're starting a business, now what? What are you going to do? How are you going to get your first sale? How are you going to get a consistent flow of people seeing your business? And a lot of people are lost. And a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just start kind of hunting and pecking and throwing this against the wall and throwing that against the wall and trying this and trying that. They don't ever really pursue kind of a proven blueprint. And that's what I tell folks. When you're looking to try to build your business or a business, don't go with the hope and fling method, because that's how you're going to fail, and that's how you're going to lose a lot of money. That's how you're going to see all the stories of people who maxed out credit cards trying to make this, that, or the other happen, and it didn't work. You need to go with a proven plan, a proven blueprint. Someone who's gone before you, who has already done what you want to do what they did. It worked for them, it'll work for you. You have to be patient, you have to be persistent, and you have to follow the plan. You can't just go in, and someone who's making $10,000 a month, you can't go start on Monday, do what they do on Monday, do what they do on Tuesday, do what they do on Wednesday, and then be pissed on Thursday because you don't have $10,000 a month coming in yet. It doesn't work that way. You need to follow the plan and see it through. It is very, very realistic that a person with a good plan, who's patient and persistent, in 6 months can build a business that's providing them 5 figures a month in profit. Money that they can put in their pocket. That is a realistic timeline. Now, I know it can be done in less. I know it can be done in 90 days, 60 days, 30 days. There are some folks who have got maybe access to resources that would allow them to do it quicker. But for most people starting out, if they'll be patient, and that's the biggest issue I see for people. They all want it today. And I think some of that comes back to kind of a lot of the at-home internet marketing world, because there's new shiny things and everybody's chasing this and chasing that. And nobody ever sticks with something long enough to see it work. They expect it to provide, windfalls of cash overnight. But if they'll understand how they can pursue kind of a proven plan, like we talked about with this, traffic flipping. If a person really understood how you could do that and get started with it, then understand how you could scale that to where, if you're flipping, 3,000 to 5,000 a month in traffic, that's money right in your pocket. Now, to do that, you've got to have 3,000 to 5,000 to put into it. So you've got that money to kind of turn over. You've got to kind of be able to turn that money, and it's hard on video to lay out kind of financial things, to explain financial concepts verbally. But if a person goes and buys 3,000, of the, I think they call them credit packs on there, and that gives you access to that much traffic that you could sell, and you took your $3,000 and you turn it into credit packs, and you turn around and you sell those and you get your $3,000 back. But inside of Maps, as long as you're punching those 10 ads a day, you still have your $3,000 working for you.
Exactly.
Then when that money comes back, you just kind of continually do it. It would be a matter of figuring out the system, and there's someone out there who has that figured out, how to do that system. and how to get that money turning over on a consistent basis to where you're putting $5,000 a month in your pocket just off of selling that traffic. And like you said, in the internet world, traffic is very, very similar to like the old gold rush days with the picks and shovels. And everybody went running out to mine for gold, and they kind of forgot they had to dig it out of the ground. So they got out there, and the people who really, really got wealthy were the ones who sold picks and shovels. In the internet world, if you're there kind of providing high quality converting traffic, you're the old pick and shovel seller. You're the one who's really helping the gold miners make their living.
Now, that was exactly what I needed from you. That was beautiful. Like all of you that just listened to Jeff's plan, you are starting to understand that two things. Number one, this is something huge. Like you are, with Maps Help, you are involved in an industry where people are going to come knocking on your door because they're trying to dig for gold. They're trying to turn their passion into profit on the internet, and they need your help because you're the guy who holds all the traffic for them. Because 90% of people on the internet today, whether it's day 1 or day 1,000, do not know how to get a consistent flow of steady traffic coming in, or how to find converting traffic if they've already understood that paid advertising is king. They don't know how to get those two things. So that's the beautiful blueprint, okay? There are two things Jeff kind of baited you on that I'm going to turn over for you. We're going to give you the example of if you have some money and if you want to invest, if you have that $3,000 or $5,000 and you want to flip it, but what if we could do it on a shoestring budget? What if you never had to invest your own money into Maps and you just got to invest other people's money into Maps, and you brought the compounding interest of their money to your pocket while sending them the traffic? Because what we're looking at here, guys, is you don't have to buy the traffic up front. What if you could go onto the internet? What if you could go onto social media? What if you could find other people who are needing traffic for their primary business opportunity, and when they place an order through you for the traffic, you place an order in Maps to buy a credit pack, and then you send them the traffic from that credit pack, and you just create and keep the compounding interest investment. Now, obviously, guys, if you're in Maps already and you have a nice sum of traffic that's just sitting there, I would encourage you to just flip your money, to take your money and take the traffic that's already there and put the money in your profit or in your pocket. So you're sending them the money, or you're sending them the traffic that's already sitting in your Maps account that you're not using. But if you're day 1 with Maps, or you're day 100 with Maps, and you just have maybe a $50 credit pack, think about this. You could go target someone, and we did a 6-part series for 6 major MLMs, so maybe you should watch that between Empower Network and Doobly and Solvay and Junise and obviously Maps itself and Paycation. Like, there are some big potentials for someone. Like, let's give you an example. If I'm all in Empower Network, I know a sale will make me anywhere from $25 all the way to $5,300 if they went all in. So the major thing that's going to make me money is consistently sending people to check out the opportunity and get joined and get signed up. So what is my primary focus? Well, my primary focus as an Empower Network rep or as a rep for any of these MLM business opportunities is to find people to check out my business opportunity. So the first solution I would do with a little money in my pocket or something like that is I would do some paid advertising along with posting on some social media. But I am educated. I've been in this industry for a little while. Day 1 people through day maybe even 100 people need the blueprint. Jeff talked about there's a process that you follow to create the success, and that you won't even notice your business in the next 6 months. It won't even look the same to you. But Jeff, if they never learned the blueprint, would they actually get any change in 6 months?
No, not at all.
No. Okay. So if I'm day 1 in an industry and I don't know the blueprint, how can I follow the blueprint?
Oh, you've got to go find it, or you've got to find someone who has that blueprint, who's willing to share it with you, And you mentioned the videos that we've done earlier. And if I'm a maps person listening to this right now, I would go back to those videos. I would write those names down of those companies, and then I would use the tools that you're going to introduce here in a little bit in the video, and I would go connect with some of those folks and just say hey, I've got 1,000 impressions available for sale to you, deliverable immediately for $55. And I can provide you affordable, profitable, proven traffic. And I would even go so far as to Google around, if it's one of these different opportunities, I would go find an already done for them, proven, high converting ad that they could use in the maps environment. So basically you could hand a little blueprint to the people because they don't have it. You have to know already that they don't have this blueprint, and you can provide them 1,000 impressions for $55, and as a free bonus, here's a high converting ad that's been working for your business in other areas. So the person basically, all they have to do, you take away all the work for them. And if it's Empower, if it's the cell phone company, if it's Doobly, if it's any Paycation, if it's any of these other places, I would be going right back to them through some of the Facebook and Twitter tools you're going to talk to them about, BJ, and I would be remarketing that traffic. And I would be remarketing with a little bit of a blueprint included with regards to having the ad already done for them. And that way you've built some value. And if you're really serious about this business and about what the traffic end of the world could do, I would be looking to get those people on a list, so when you've got more available, they can be the first ones to know about it. I would be looking at getting them, some other. You can go out and connect and find other free resources that can be of value to this exact same list of people. How to increase your conversions, how to communicate with. There'd be a lot of different things, not to mention some of the tools you're going to show here that you could do to build the value of what you have to, what you have to offer them with your traffic packages.
And that is spot on, dead on. Guys, you needed to take that minute and a half that Jeff just gave you the blueprint for, and you need to write all of that down, because what he just did is give you the keys to the kingdom, which is actually all we're doing in this video sales presentation, by the way, is we're giving you the keys to the kingdom, and then we're giving you a chance to put that blueprint that we're giving you on complete autopilot. Because what he just said was this: they don't understand the process. They're not ever going to succeed without the process. And honestly, before you watch this video, you might not have even known the process. But we know the process. We're explaining the process to you. This process made me $2,200 per week just selling traffic, by the way. So when I show you what we're about to do, I've already done the exact business model that we're introducing to you in this video, and it made me 6 figures per year, and it was just one of my income streams. Guys, this is very powerful, but what's the most powerful part is you are learning the concept of leading the horse to water. Because what you're doing right now is you're walking out into a pasture full of horses that are thirsty. They're trying to get some water. They are trying to drink, and they have no idea where the river is. And all you have a lead rope and you have a halter, and you're putting it on the horses who come willingly up to you because they go, oh, this dude knows the way. And you're putting the halter on them, and you're leading them with the lead rope to the water. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to drink because they're thirsty. This is not someone who, might be interested in blogging for the first time, and they might buy a blog from you. This is someone who's made a physical decision. This is my business opportunity. This is the vision that I'm using to turn my passion into a profit and create the dream lifestyle that I want. And the only thing separating me from that is not getting enough traffic, and you're a traffic guy. Guys, that right there is so powerful because it gives you the opportunity where they actually give you their ears. They give you their attention. So if you do what Jeff just said and you don't just spam them, oh, you need traffic, go buy this, you come out with a blueprint like, look, here's an ad that's converting. Here's what you need to do. You need to buy this traffic consistently. Here's our prices. And then you introduce them to social media outsourcing, which we're going to introduce you to right here. You could give them 100% CEO kind of business in a blueprint in a box that they can take and they can succeed with, because they can buy traffic from you up front, 1,000 impressions for $50. So you might even talk to them this way: I will send 1,000 targeted visitors to your website today for $50. I will send 1,000 targeted I will send 100 targeted visitors to your website for the next 10 days for $55. I will send 1,000 targeted visitors to your website for the next 10 days for $550. And then you just continue down that cycle to where someone understands, well, maybe I want 1,000 targeted visitors today. Maybe I only just want 100 for the next 10 days. Maybe I want to snowball effect, because let me give you guys a piece of training that you're going to give to them, okay? To create a steady flow of money coming in and profit in any business, you need a steady flow of paid advertising and leads generated every single day to your offer to do that. Well, how do you, besides having a tremendous traffic budget, because 1,000 target visitors a day would cost you $55 a day, so that would cost you like $1,600 a month to do for the entire month. How could you leverage that and not have to break your bank to do it? Well, it's all about your results. So today you get 1,000 targeted visitors to your capture page. Of those 1,000 targeted visitors, maybe 100 of them opt in, which would actually be a terrible conversion rate because it's only a 10% opt-in rate. But let's just go with that, because here's the story, guys. The story is what's important. It's like taking this snowball, and this snowball was those 1,000 targeted visitors, and you're throwing it down the hilly or down the snowy hillside when you go into social media the next day and go, guys, look at the picture of my Aweber. Look at the picture of my GetResponse. Look at the picture of my autoresponder provider. Do you see where it generated 100 leads today? Do you want to learn how I generated 100 leads today? I'm going to host a webinar in 72 hours where you can learn that exact secret. But the only way you can do it is if you register for the webinar. Now, you're getting people to register for the webinar. But here's what's important, guys. Maybe you are that person who bought 1,000 impressions for the next 10 days, okay? You spent that $550. There's 1,000 more coming tomorrow, which means there's 100 more at least opting in tomorrow, on top of everyone who opted into that registration form for the webinar. So now let's say you posted that in a whole bunch of Facebook groups, which I'm going to show you in just a second. You post that in a whole bunch of Facebook groups, and it generated an extra 500 eyes onto your post because you're telling a story that people shut up and listen to because you generated 100 leads in a day, which no one knows how to do. Even if you dropped it down to 100 impressions and you generated 10 leads in a day, you're still getting a lot of people's attention, because if you can teach someone how to generate 10 leads in a day, it could generate one sale for them in a day, and it could change their life in a day. So they're going to stop what they're doing and they're going to watch your webinar. But what's going to happen is those 500 people who checked out that post, let's say 20% of them, so another 100 opted in. Day number 2, you already woke up to 100 opt-ins, and your traffic came through, so now you have 200 more opt-ins. You now have 300 people built on your list, and you have a new story to tell. Hey guys, check out my Aweber today. If you really want to learn the concept behind how I'm generating now, I doubled the amount of opt-ins that came in. I generated 200 leads today and built a list of 300 people in 48 hours. If you want to know how, you have to get registered for this 48-hour from now webinar where I reveal the secret there live. Guys, and you compound this, and you compound this, and you compound this, and then you sell your primary business opportunity on the webinar, and you give them the blueprint of how they can generate lots and lots and lots of leads leading up to that webinar. And what you do is, I'll already give you the entire blueprint. You give a unbelievable one-time offer. Okay, I'm looking for 10 people who want to learn my exact formula, and I'm not only going to teach you the exact formula, but when you buy in today, let's say you're offering Empower Network and you're offering it at the $125 level. When you opt in, or when you join today at least the $125 level, I'm going to give you your first 1,000 impressions for free. I'm going to give you your first 1,000 targeted visitors to check out your web page for free, which only costs you $55. But that also, if you were a MAPS rep, that would also create compounding interest. But whether you're a MAPS rep or not, you're going to probably give them a bonus like that, because what's going to happen is you're going to get 10 sales that day. You're going to generate $1,250 that day. And you're going to turn around and you're going to tell that story the next day, because that's what leveraging does. So now, the traffic's still coming through, by the way, because it's only been 72 hours is 3 days. So you signed up for 10 days. So you still have a whole week left of 1,000 impressions at least coming through. And now your story is, look, guys, I generated another 100 opt-ins today. I generated 10 sales and $1,250 in monthly residual income in a single day. If you want to learn how I did that, come out to the next webinar in 72 hours. But the coolest thing is, those 10 reps are also now promoting your webinar. So now they can make sales off of your webinar, and you're giving them the blueprint. You might even go as far as give them the post that you're sharing so that they can go, look at what my team leader, look at what my mentor did today, and they all get a result for themselves, because like you just said, or like I just said, you gave them 1,000 impressions for joining your team. So now my team leader generated 200 leads or 500 leads, or however many leads you generated from your story, how far along you are, and they go, on top of that, he taught me a process that generated me 100 leads my very first day using the process. When you opt into this webinar in 72 hours, you're going to learn the exact process I did that generated me 100 leads the very first day I used the process. And what's going to happen is they're going to get to retell the story tomorrow, because they're going to go post it in those Facebook groups as well, or a social media outsourcer is going to go post it in those Facebook groups for them on autopilot, and they're going to generate more leads. So now they may generate another 100 leads, or they may generate 50 leads or 20 leads, and all of a sudden it's compounding. Since we're talking about compounding interest with MAPS, let's talk about compounding stories. Your team starts to tell their story, you start to tell your story, and now everyone's promoting your webinar, and now you might have 300 people on your webinar. You might close 30 sales on your webinar, which would be 3 sales for each one of your teammates. You might close 50 sales on your webinar, 5 sales for each one of your teammates. You might get 1,000 people on your webinar and close 100 sales, which would be the same unbelievable offer you offered last week, but each one of your 10 reps now offer it to 10 of their prospects, and now you just went from a team of 1 to a team of 100 within 6 days. Guys, this is what happens when paid advertising and leveraging a story using paid advertising is combined and properly done on the internet. And if you don't believe me, in my last business venture, I started with a team of 3 people. We took it to a team of 1,100 people in 30 days, and we took it to a team of 3,700 people in 90 days using the exact blueprint, bar none, no exceptions, to what I just explained there. So now, let's take that and let's put real-world names and numbers on it. And we're gonna show you kind of the meat and potatoes now, because we're done with just giving you concepts. Okay? Let's check this out really quick. If we went to, hold on, let me show you my Facebook. If we went to my Facebook here, and we just targeted, as Jeff said, we did a 6-part series, so you should look at all the other. I'm just going to use one because this majorly works for, but as you can see, my buddy Dave Woods right there. But I'm just going to go here to my groups because I have a whole bunch of Empower Network. Well, I don't know what happened. Next to my screen, Windows open, it's going kind of slow. But here we go. let me just get this up for you real quick. But what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go to the Facebook toolbar, and I'm going to type in Empower Network. Okay? And when I type in Empower Network and get it up, I'm going to show you exactly what comes up. Okay, here we go. Cool. Now, if I share my screen with you, what you should see, hold on 1 second. Okay. So what you should be about to load. Okay, good. Now it's loading, and what happens here is, besides there being 14,000 likes on that fan page, it gives you a couple of options. Obviously, I'm going to get a whole bunch of posts because David Woods, the owner of Empower Network, so every one of his posts has to do with Empower Network. But I have thousands of Empower Network friends on my Facebook itself. So you could actually target these people right here because they're your target audience. You can go talk to them. They're your friends on Facebook that are in Empower Network or these other business opportunities. But what you would do is you would click this button. You would click the more, you would go to groups. And here's what happens. I'm already in all of these groups, so I'm going to show you the inside of the groups as well. This is one of those rare occasions where I've already done the homework before we've gotten to the presentation, so that's good. As you can see, there's 3,000 members, 21,000 members, 26,000 members, 15,000 members, 179 members. By the way, Empower Network LLC has over 200,000 active affiliates in their organization. So if you think that there's a large client base for you as a traffic provider, that's just one of the 6 that we've done a series on. So think about that. If each one of those 6 had just 200,000 affiliates apiece, that's over 1 million affiliates. So keep that in mind, guys. That's you know, 1 million prospects for you to potentially sell traffic to. And if you got 1 million people, you know, even if you got 10%, 100,000 people to pay you $50, you've maxed out your traffic map packs, and you're making a whole bunch of money selling traffic. But just simply what you would do is you would go click join all these groups, and then you would get inside these groups, and well, now it's going to take forever. But you would just simply share either a post that asks them to connect with you, a post that asks them to join your Facebook group because you would want to introduce a high-quality traffic and training group like I have right here for Explosial, the business opportunity I told you I built 1,100 and 3,700 people in, but Explosial Traffic and Training. You would have your own specific traffic and training group, maybe even so specific that you do it for the actual niche itself. Empower Network high quality traffic and training group, and you would invite them, hey, if you're an Empower Network rep and you want to learn a secret that's getting high quality paid advertising for your Empower Network marketing system, join this free Facebook group. And what you're doing is you're pulling the interested people out of the sea fish. Guys, we don't ever just go spam marketing. I don't ever just go talk to someone that I don't believe is a targeted prospect, because you're going to have terrible conversion numbers. And there's an easier, better way to find those people that are raising their hand and saying, hey, I would like to know more about your product. I would like to know more about how I can buy traffic from you. Guys, and if you think this is effective, going in and posting in these Facebook groups, which, by the way, just posting in the Facebook groups is all I actually did to generate $2,200 per week in selling traffic. So you guys could literally generate an 8-figure or a 6-figure per year income just from posting in Facebook groups and finding targeted people to introduce your traffic to. And the traffic, you know, the traffic is one of those products that literally so if you came in and you that exact blueprint, that would help them tremendously, and you would find more people than not willing to just buy and test your traffic right off rip. But if you went to Twitter right here and you typed in Empower Network, it's going to be a wave, a major wave, by the way. But if you just typed in Empower Network, it's taking so long to load. That's how many results there are. But look at this, guys. Like, literally, if you click this all button, you get a list of people tweeting the word or phrase Empower Network. And guys, all of these people are obviously Empower Network reps. So how easily could you send them to a free Facebook group about generating more traffic? You know, this guy right here, do you need leads and traffic? I got that, no problem. You know, he's already figuring it out, trying to target Empower Network reps, or maybe using his Empower Network blog as a traffic agent. Guys, maybe he should check out this training because there's a better way to do it. But literally, guys, look at all of these people that you could access to and talk, and look, it's still loading for more of these people, and we're not even through the first day yet, guys. We're just now at halfway through the day as we get into the 16 and 18 hour mark, guys. So every single day it cuts off here. That's at least 50 tweets. So imagine if you could target 50 people a day. What if 1 out of 10 said yes? That's 5 sales a day. What if 1 out of 5 said yes? That's 10 sales a day for your traffic. You all of a sudden went to doing $550 a day selling traffic, and now it's just my face. Okay, there we are. But you now went to $550 a day selling traffic off of one Twitter search, off of hitting up 50 people a day and getting 1 out of 5 to say yes, or you know, $250 something from getting 1 out of 10 people to say yes, and you're compounding your interest. You know, $500 becomes $620 in 60 days. In 62 days. But that's a major return on your investment. And guys, that's 100% profit, because you know, Billy here, who's talking about Empower Network, or Tyga, or any of these guys who are talking about Empower Network, they bought the traffic. So it's 100% profit to you. You didn't spend your $50 to buy that traffic pack and then send them the traffic. They spent the $50 plus you made $5 on it because you sold it for $55. So you made maybe the tax on the PayPal transfer, something like that, so that you're in 100% profit. And what you're doing is the compounding interest has now become 100% profit to you. And now the new game is, how quickly can you find different business opportunities? How quickly can you make a simple training like I just told you about, creating a webinar and having your team come out and promote the webinar and selling that, and then giving that package away, like Jeff just said, as a free bonus to an affiliate who buys traffic from you? And then how quickly can you duplicate that process? Well,
hey BJ, we can't see your screen. I apologize for interrupting. We can't see your screen right now.
Oh yeah, I know. I took it off the screen.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're back, because that's all I really wanted to show them, guys. And that's important. I like that you pointed that out, Jeff. That's important. I literally only needed to show you like 30 seconds worth of what you have to do, because that's your responsibility. Everything that I just showed you is all you're responsible for. Posting in Facebook groups, having a follow-up conversation with whoever sends you a friend request or whoever joins your Facebook group for quality traffic, and then introducing the package that Jeff helped you figure out how to put together, introducing that to them in exchange for them buying the traffic from you, and then going to Twitter and sending that video to all of the people who have tweeted that keyword. If you want to spend a couple of hours a day, you could build your business successfully, and you can have 100% profit off the compounding interest side of maps. But if you know us, if you've watched this series, you already know that that's great. That's something that a awesome coach would give to you and be like, okay, now go make it happen. But Jeff, do we over deliver? Is that what we're into? Are we those guys?
That's exactly what we're all about.
Oh, okay. That's what we're all about. That's what I like to hear, and that's what we're doing for you guys right now. Because honestly, that's a great business model. Guys, I did that business model for an entire year. I did that plus an additional income stream, but I made $283,000 that year between traffic and coaching and promoting a primary business opportunity. So guys, by all means, if I cut off those two, by the way, I'd have still made it'd have been $100,080. So I would have still made a positive 6-figure income stream just off of the business blueprint that I just gave you. But here's the coolest part. What we're offering to you, what we're doing to take this to the next level, what we're doing to over-deliver for all of you is we're giving you a process that puts that business model on complete autopilot for you, and we're giving you an additional income stream on top of it. Now, what could we possibly be talking about? What is that? Well, we offer social media outsourcing, which means this training has actually become a blueprint that a social media outsourcer that's trained in Jeff and I's social media lead generation specialties turns around and does in your business every single day, Monday through Friday, for you. That means they'll go in and get you added to Facebook groups. They'll go in and post in those Facebook groups. They'll go in and approve people to join your Facebook groups. They'll go in and have the conversations with the people joining your Facebook groups. They'll go in and Twitter search different keywords for different business opportunities for you. They'll go in and introduce your tweet, aka your video, selling your traffic to everyone who's tweeted that word or phrase. And they'll have and hold those conversations for you to convert it. Now that right there could be everything. We could just say for $375 up front and then $250 a month, that's what we're offering to you. That's what we're offering is a chance to put this six-figure income stream on complete autopilot for you and build out a successful business for you while you sip margaritas on a beach somewhere, or if you're like me, you're sipping water in a chair. But literally, guys, we didn't stop there either. Because what Jeff just said is we over-deliver. And that's already an over-delivery. This whole training was an over-delivery. But the type of over-delivery we do is, on top of those two things, we turn this into an affiliate program. Because there was a little bit of wiggle room in the $375 and the $250 a month. So just with the same concept as Maps, where if you give it back to your clients, they're going to be loyal to you and they're going to help you build. And I see Maps now has like 117,000 affiliates, so I know that concept is true. We did the same thing. We said we could keep this all for ourselves. We could offer this as a service to you, and honestly, you would probably still promote it for us because you'd be so happy about getting this autopilot lifestyle that you would just be happy to tell others and make us filthy rich. But what we decided to do was we decided to take the little bit of wiggle room in that and we made it an affiliate commission. So when someone, aka your outsourcer, does all of those responsibilities we just talked about and talks to the Empower Network reps and the Doobly reps and the Paycation reps and all of those reps for you, they're also, on top of introducing your traffic to them, going to introduce our social media outsourcing service, because just like I told you a little while ago, it takes a steady flow of paid advertising and free leads generated daily to build your business, no matter what business opportunity you join. And our social media outsourcer is trained in the taking a post, syndicating it on Facebook, inviting people to come out to the webinar, syndicating the results that they've been getting over and over and over again to build that snowball effect so that everybody grows. And we're going to turn around and let you get paid every time your outsourcer goes, hey, why don't you get social media outsourcing? Why don't you put your business on autopilot since you're already making the smart decision in buying traffic? And when that happens, when they pay that $375, you're going to make $100 up front, and you're going to make $50 per sale per month in residual monthly income over and over and over. And Jeff, if you built a six-figure income stream off of paying $250 a month, how many months would you pay that $250?
Oh, you know, BJ, that'd be the first bill I'd pay every month, without a doubt.
Okay. So if someone gave you, on top of a six-figure income stream, the ability to put that income stream on autopilot and create a secondary income stream, still for that same $250, would you quit that $250?
No, never,
No. Oh.
Never. And I would grab a hold of that blueprint and run with it as hard as I could.
Excellent. So what you're saying is what we have here could really, really help someone who's in Maps right now.
Oh, you know what? When we started today's video, BJ, I was, you know, we were both still trying to make sure we knew exactly what you had with Maps, and you know, I was doing a little homework here on my iPad as we were talking, and this thing is a slam dunk. I mean, for people who really want to grab a hold of a blueprint, you know, the blueprint would be get into those Facebook groups, get on Twitter, you know, let the world know that you can provide traffic, affordable traffic, to people starting out. And they send you the $55. You go in, you get your credit pack, you get their stuff all put together. You offer that as a package with kind of a proven, with a proven ad, and it would not be difficult to get that business up to, like you said, a couple $1,000 a week you're making, and that's just off people paying you to go in and buy the credit packs. I mean, that's a brilliant way to look at that thing. And with the social media outsourcing people, basically all you would have to do is have them be out there having the conversations, having them join your Facebook group, and then you'll sit in kind of the CEO seat. You'll be the one who will be offering content to the group. You'll be the one who will be offering, some additional resources and tools, and having that list and that influence that you're building. And all along, they're coming back to you for more traffic and more traffic and more traffic. And I mean, that's just an amazing model for this, and they fit together so well.
I completely agree. I think that this is a smash. I believe that we've never actually promoted any of the business opportunities in the series, but by all means, I do believe if you want to be a traffic agent, if you want to be involved in something where you could leverage an industry like this, I would recommend you get started in Maps and get our social media outsourcing and start following the blueprint. Like, you could have a business in a box. You could be watching this and not in Maps right now, and you could have a 6-figure blueprint that was just mapped out in front of you. No pun intended with map, but mapped out in front of you, and then you could hop into Maps, go join my buddy Simon or somebody on his team, or maybe there will be a link below this. It won't be a buy button, because the buy button will obviously be for the social media outsourcing. But join whoever you find and you relate to in Maps. Go start becoming a traffic agent and use this exact blueprint to build an income stream that's completely passive for you. And if you're in a primary business opportunity, it's a great way to get free traffic, because you're going to spend $50 but make it back. So if you do want to use this traffic for your own primary business opportunity, why not buy a traffic source that's paying you to use it versus that you're paying to use? I like that philosophy. I think that this is a great opportunity for everyone who's in Maps, but everyone who's also serious about creating multiple streams of income for themselves and for their family. So, I mean, without anything further to do, do you have anything else to close with, Jeff? I'm pretty...
I really don't. I really hope folks have taken good notes and they really get a good understanding of just what this is and what this can do for them, because this is amazing.
I completely agree. So I recommend, if you've watched this video, to watch it again, watch it a couple of times, get really excited. If you're in Maps, I want you to click the link below right now, pay that $375, and get ready to pay that $250 a month, because it'll be the happiest $250 that you ever pay per month, and get this thing rocking and rolling. Go back, like Jeff said, and watch the other videos in this series so you can see the other primary business opportunities that you're going to be targeting, so that you can kind of already start to understand, like, something like Maps has 117,000 active affiliates. Something like Empower Network has close to 240,000 active affiliates. Something like Solavay, one of the top leaders in Solavay, has a team of 11,000 people personally. There's over 100,000 active reps in Solavay. There are so many primary business opportunities out there that have hundreds of thousands of people who are waiting to pound down your door, because all that separates them from the next guy would be the amount of traffic that's going to their website. And you're the guy who's going to help them get more traffic and get it for cheap. So guys, click the link below. Whether you're in Maps or not, click the link below. You need this social media outsourcing service. This puts your business on autopilot. Guys, I would encourage you to go ahead and get involved in Maps as well. And like I said, we're not in Maps. We're not officially promoting Maps. But if you want to be a traffic agent, if you want to be someone who leverages this kind of business blueprint and really becomes a picks and shovels guy for the entire industry, or gal for the entire industry, then click the link below right now. Go ahead and use our social media outsourcing service. get ready to be excited and use this as a second stream of income with our social media outsourcing service, and watch the rest of the videos in the series, because it's going to change the way that you think, it's going to change the way you see the internet, and it's going to change the way you do business forever. So Jeff, thanks so much for hanging out with us today, and thanks so much for doing this with me today.
Hey, thanks, Brian. I'm sorry, thanks, BJ. I was just looking at an email from a guy named Brian. Sorry. But no, hey, thanks, BJ. And I really appreciate it, too. This has been a great opportunity to talk with folks.
For real, for real. Guys, thank you for watching this video with us. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you on the next video. We'll see you on the rest of the series. And as always, we'll see you at the bank. Take care.